This next section is working with casino checks. What we're going to do today is show you how to handle checks. When a player enters a game, they will place money on the layout and you will exchange that money for casino checks. As you look down, we can see this is our bank over here, and in our bank is all our casino checks. Starting with color is pertinent to what the value of that particular check is. The whites are dollars, and this is pretty normal for every casino, being white for dollars, red is for $5, green is for $25, black is for $100, and then sometimes the other higher denominations might change in color. But for the most part, that is the basic. Today I want to go over handling checks, picking checks, drop cutting checks, and what we'll start out with is actually cutting checks. And what we do is, when we handle a stack of checks, we just want to grab a handful and work with what we have as far as making a bet, making a payoff for a bet. All right, the way you start is you want to hold these here in your hand like so, these 4 fingers. All right, we'll be handling the checks. As you want to, your work area in a crap game is right here. This is your bench. This is exactly where you work. Everything that gets paid is going to be sent from here and then out to the player. And if you notice, I use the word out because that is going to be very important as you use, this is your outside hand. Your outside hand will always be the hand towards the player. Your inside hand will always be the hand towards the box person. So when you need to cut out checks, you're going to take your hand of the denomination that you need, and you're going to cut out checks. How do we cut out checks? What we do is we take our hand here, we cut out the amount, we push back the stack and use the amount that we need. We place it down on here, and then we could size into it. And when we size into it, we actually push these here checks, put our index finger on in the middle, and take off the rest on the other side, and just keep going like that. All right, once you get that done, you will hand off with your outside hand. If you notice, you see my first move is my index finger is going right in the center of these checks. Reason why is you don't want to hand them off this way because, like I said before, where there's money, sometimes there's larceny. All right, you can and would be able to take that. If you handed it out this way with your hand on top, you can take money. Here it is in my hand. I could place it in my pocket. All right, I just cheated the customer out of some money. This is why it's nice and clear out of here. We take, we drop, we cut, size in, we stack it up, we hand off with our outside hand, with our index finger here, take it out to the player, and most importantly, good luck, sir or ma'am. You want to wish them some kind of good luck as part of your service as being a dealer. After we go through this here, player will take money like so. He buys in for $100. He's got 2 50s. First thing the dealer's going to say as a base dealer, change only. And he's not going to whisper it because there's no secrets in a crap game. You're going to sing it out, and you're going to sing it out nice and loud and clear. You're saying change only because he's not going to make a bet out of this. We're changing his cash up for checks. This money will be picked up. It'll be placed right in front of the box person. The box person will count the money and tell you how much it is, and then you will pick it either out of the bank or off your working stacks. Your working stacks are always the one in front of you, all right? And you will give that person that money. As we look at what I just did, I pulled out a stack of red checks. Any stack that comes out of the bank, any denomination, any color that comes out of it, they're always going to be 20 stacks or 20 checks high. All right, 20 nickels is $100. You will be taking that money, sir or ma'am. Good luck to you. Hand it off, outside hand like we did. All right. Once that is established, they will pick up the money. They will put it in the rail. We'll wait for them to make a bet. As things are going on in this here game, you will be learning how to cut checks. When you cut in checks, again, forefinger. All right, forefinger first. You cut, push back the amount that you want to start out with first. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to drop cut 4. All right, I'm going to size into the rest, stack them up, hand them off. Or if I have a payoff, I'm going to cut out what the payoff is going to be. And when we do that, some of the payoffs that we have are different, various, and vary in amounts. And the amounts are, it might be, let's say, $35 as a payoff. We're going to be picking. And when we pick checks, we're picking off our working stacks. When we pick the checks, again, index finger, dead center over here. $35 might be one of the payoffs. Again, my working area. This is where I work and I do all my payoffs. I take it, I stack it up with my outside hand. Again, outside hand is always towards the player. I will hand off the money, and we will continue on to the next player. And we will just continue to do so with all. Cutting checks out, well, you know, you say there might be, again, there's various amounts to what we do as far as how much the payoff is. Just to start out, I'll tell you, if you have 6 checks, you're going to drop cut 3. Again, you push back the amount that you need, drop cut, size into the first one, there's 6 checks. All right. If we wanted 7 checks, again, we're going to drop cut 3, 3, and 1. Stack up your outside hand, hand off. And we can keep going with this. With 8 checks, it's going to be 4 and 4. All right, if it was 10 checks, we're going to go 5 and 5. All right, and so on and so forth. You know, and as you see bets and you go along, you're going to be getting more familiar and more familiar on how to approach drop cutting that bet or what it should be, so it's legible for everything, for everyone. And when I say legible is whenever you deal and you're dealing this game, you do not deal to yourself. You deal to everyone else, and everyone else is your supervisor, who is your box person, your floor person, the camera, and more especially to the player. So when you're drop cutting these here checks, you want to make sure that it's visible and it can be read by all parties. With that being said, you're going to learn how to drop cut a lot of different segments of a lot of different checks in amounts that is required by the bet that you're paying off. You're going to get bets that will be called from the stick person to pay off a player. Again, you'll drop it off in the proper procedure, in the proper amounts.